Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Back working on a Project KFC today. Now, for those that don't know, I was involved in a 4-car pile-up. Project KFC was, of course, the car that I was driving at the time, and I have some news. We're going to be rebuilding this thing and putting it back on the road. So I'll just explain kind of what was going on with the insurance companies, because yes, I did go through the insurance company. Although I didn't go through my insurance company, I went through the driver who was at fault. I went directly through his insurance company. So they dealt with everything essentially. They said the car was going to be wrote off. They didn't even send anyone out here to check, just because of the value of the car. They've saw the photos of the damage. They said, yeah, it's going to be a write-off. So it was already a Cat S, but now it's a Cat S and a Cat N. So to make things even more confusing, yeah, it's been wrote off twice now, but I'm pretty confident that I should be able to repair this thing and get it back on the road. So then essentially the insurance company gave me two options. So they gave me a price, a payout price, for if they was to just take the car away and, you know, I have nothing to do with it. Obviously that was going to be a higher price. Or they gave me an option where I could just keep the car and they give me slightly less for it. So they valued the car. The final valuation for the car, I think, was about $2.5 grand, which I thought was fair. You know, it's an E91, it's not an M Sport, it's on nearly 200,000 miles, and it's already been wrote off before. So I thought that was a fair value for the car, but they said I can keep the car and then take just less than 2,000, which I thought that was a fair offer. So I went with the latter of the two options. So here we are with a car that essentially now just owes us around £500. So I'm pretty confident I should be able to fix it up for less than £1,000 really, let alone £2,000. So we should be a little bit in the green, so to speak. So yeah, today I want to basically get it stripped down, see what's going on, and see exactly which parts I need to replace. Okay, so first off then, let's take a quick look around the car and let's have a look at the parts that we know for sure need replacing. Now, bonnet, of course, you know, you're not going to get this dent out, you're not going to get it back to the original shape that it was to get it sitting flush. You're better off just replacing the bonnet. So I'll get another used bonnet in the same colour and bolt that back in place. I'm not too sure if there's any damage to the hinges or the gas struts. If there is, of course, I'll replace them. Again, they're not expensive. The front bumper, I mean, I know it's obviously taken a bit of an impact and it is damaged, but it was, you know, was not in the greatest of shapes before anyway. So I may be able to pull this out and potentially do something with it. If I have to put a new bumper on, I will do so. I'm not really too fussed at this stage. Obviously, until we strip this all down, we can't really see the extent of the damage behind here. It looks like it's pushed the AC condenser back, so that'll probably need replacing. I've no idea if it's lost any coolant, so if the coolant radiator is damaged or not, but I'm gonna guess it's gonna be at least a slam panel, AC condenser, front bumper and bonnet on the front here. And now coming round to the rear bumper again is pretty badly scuffed up and has definitely seen better days. But like I said, this thing was not in the greatest of shapes anyway. I mean, it will still drive like this. It's not going to affect the way that the car drives. So I may just keep it like this. I don't know. I may stick a new bumper on, like I said, but we will see. Of course, the main goal is really to get this thing back on the road first, and then we can, I guess, sort out the cosmetic stuff at a later date. There was a slight dent in the tailgate, but that doesn't bother me. I'm pretty sure the tailgate still opens. Yep, tailgate still opens and closes absolutely fine. So I'll probably just leave that small dent in there. It's not worth the hassle of swapping the tailgate over. Inside of the car though, one thing that will need some attention is the boot floor plastic tray. You're not going to be able to see it, it's just under there, as you can see. See the ground through there, you can see my foot. That's just a plastic tray. Again, you can replace that for not a lot of money. Another thing, and probably the most important thing for getting this thing back on the road, is what's going on with the exhaust. So originally it had just came down off this rear hanger here, and I put it back on the rear hanger, but as you can see, it's sitting too far inwards of that rear bumper there. So I don't know if the exhaust itself is bent, if it's just pushed forward or what. I think that's where we need to start today, because I've noticed when I fire this car up, it does vibrate like mad. The exhaust is definitely making contact with the chassis. So yeah, we need to get the car up in the air, have a look what is going on with that exhaust, and that is where we're going to start. Right, okay. Well, that didn't need much investigating. The flexi has kind of been ripped off. So, from what I can see, it looks like the rest of the exhaust is where it's supposed to be. But yeah, I guess the flexi, the weakest point on the exhaust, that's just kind of ripped apart. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have to replace that. Now it is part of the downpipe, the DPF and all that, but I think you can get a little repair kit for that. So yeah, it's more than likely what I'm going to have to do. So, exhaust removed. This is obviously the flexi bit that had failed. I'd ended up just cutting the rest off because it was pretty tight in here. Should be able to remove that out of this flange now. But yeah, the rest of the exhaust looks all to be in one piece. Can't see any dents or kinks in it, which is good. So this will definitely be fine to go again. This is what the side still left on the car looks like. I'm going to have to cut this from there. Obviously I have to be very careful, and then I assume the replacement flexi part, you get a gasket and then a coupler or a bracket, and it'll just attach onto this flange there. So that shouldn't be too bad of a job. So that's the exhaust situation sorted now then. Next thing I want to have a look at is that tray in the boot floor. So we'll get all this stripped out. And get this inner tray itself removed. Because yeah, as far as I can see, it is literally just that that's broken. This is just plastic, so yeah, I guess just 10mm nuts holding this in place. Alright, let's get it all removed. Right, so all the 10mm nuts removed. There was a few bolts underneath as well that I had to remove, but now this thing should be free. There we go, that's that removed. And yeah, very interesting setup in these cars, but as you can see, the boot floor, or kind of what is the boot floor, is perfectly intact. No dents or anything. So I guess the car that hit me from the rear pushed the bumper and then kind of pushed up into here and just crushed that, so left the chassis of the car perfectly intact, which is great news. Even the rear crash bar is in perfect condition. You can see that's not bent or dented in any way. That usually takes a good denting when hit from the rear, but no, that's fine. Next job then, we need to get the bonnet open. Now I've tried to get in from here, as you can see I've already removed the grills. Tried to get in from here, and I think what it is, there's kind of like a bar on the slam panel, and I think that's what the bonnet latch kind of hooks round. I've tried to, you know, pry it out and whatever, but it's just not happening. So I think easiest way is to just take the angle grinder, cut out a small section, and obviously we can just lift it up then and see what's going on from there. This is scrap anyway. It feels so wrong doing this, but I think it's just the easiest way. There we go. There we go. That's the bonnet latch removed. Hopefully this just lifts up now. Now of course it's latched in there and there, isn't it? Will that release if I just pull the cable though? Oh, nearly. May have to cut out a bit of a section here as well. It's still latched on here. So, managed to get the bonnet unlatched. First look at things. Yeah, you can definitely see the crash bar slash slam panel has definitely been pushed backwards. The radiator pack that's kind of on the wonk. There is a kink in, well, at least one coolant hose. Still looks to be intact though. Let's see how the coolant level's looking. See if we lost any coolant. No, bang on, we haven't lost any coolant, which is great news. That hopefully means we don't have any leaks. Also check the oil level as well. And we definitely have oil, which is good. Engine was still running at the time that I was hit. Yeah, absolutely fine. I don't think we've lost any oil. So I think the engine's still good. Still looks like it's on its engine mounts. Sure what that is there. It's probably just a bit of trim from the bumper or something, I don't know. So on the whole then, not looking too bad so far. I think we do have to remove the front bumper and the slam panel though, just to see kind of the extent of the damage. Yeah, definitely going to need a new slam panel. That's all bent and crushed in. Bonnet's never going to close like that. So yeah, let's get the front bumper removed and let's have a closer look. the bumper removed. To be honest, the damage actually doesn't look that bad. So this is the crash bar. That's all still in shape. I think it's just all this plastic shrouding that's all kind of mangled, which I don't think it's worth trying to get these pieces separate. I think it's just, I'll just be better off just getting a whole fresh slam panel. It should come with everything I need. But yeah, not that bad. I didn't expect the damage at the front to be too bad, if I'm being honest. I did notice though, these tabs on this headlight, passenger side headlight, they've snapped off, but that's not a problem. I can just remove them and glue them back in place. Yeah, everything else looks to be relatively okay. We will get the slam panel removed there, because obviously we need to have a look at the radiator pack as well, the AC condenser. Right, that's the slam panel removed. Right, first things first then, chassis legs look absolutely fine. Can't see any creases or bends in them. So I think we're good structurally. It should just be bolt on and bolt off parts. Let's see what's going on with this rad pack though. Why is it in this position? What's stopping it from bending back? Hard pipe, the AC pipe that's kinked there. That's what's keeping it all pushed forward in this position. Apart from that though, boost pipes look alright, and the coolant hoses, they all look okay. Let's get this AC pipe removed, and we should be able to get this back in the right position. So I thought I would remove the rad pack. I've actually taken this off, and yeah, so obviously disconnected the boost hoses, the coolant hoses, drained the coolant, and yeah, this seems to be sitting straight as it should now. So happy with that. I've checked over the coolant radiator, seems absolutely fine, no issues with that, no issues with the radiator fan. The AC condenser actually doesn't look that bad. If it was leaking or not, I don't know. The AC in this car wasn't working. There was, you know, wasn't holding gas anyway. So yeah, obviously that condenser more than likely needed replacing. So yeah, we will need a new one of those. Oh, that passenger side headlight that I thought the tabs were just broken on it, well, it's actually a bit worse. Yeah, it's all kind of smashed on the side, so going to need one new headlight at least, a new slam panel, and then I'm still undecided what I'm going to do with this bumper. Obviously it looks a bit of a mess, but if I wanted it to, this could definitely go again. Most of all this that you can see on here, the, you know, bad paint that was already like that. If I can pick a bumper up cheap enough that's in better condition than this, then I'll replace it, but if not, then I'll just put that one back on and it will go again. So then, to summarise what we need to replace, so maybe the front bumper, not sure yet. Front slam panel for sure, just get this whole lot complete. AC condenser, passenger side headlight, this rear boot floor tray, that needs to be replaced. A new flexi section for the exhaust where it goes into the downpipe. Possibly a rear bumper. Again, I'm not too sure. I may just leave it as it is and send it. I can probably actually get this a little bit better back in shape with just some hot water, but I'll see how I feel with regards to that. Oh, and of course that AC hardline as well, which again, I'm not in a massive rush to get that replaced because the AC system in this car didn't work anyway, so I may just wait and do that next year when I really need it, when it comes to summertime. Oh, and how could I forget? Yes, we may need a new bonnet as well, because this one definitely has seen better days. Well then, there we go. We now know the extent of the damage on Project KFC. We now know all of the parts that we need to order. Hopefully in the next video you'll see on this car, we'll have everything back together and I'll be back on the road. I want to thank you all for watching. Give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so. I will see you all in that next one.